Hey guys, insight number 5. I'll try and keep this one short because I'm about done sitting on the ground and I want to go play in the sea. So that's what you can hear in the background. See? Look, see the sea? Anyway, so chapter 14. It's the last one we're doing this week. This is really hope through deliverance. This is really some of the best news in here. And again, people focus on, they get tied up in all the symbolism of all the ugly things that are going to happen. Well, they're already happening. They've been happening the entirety of this life on earth for anybody. The whole history of the earth has these things happening in it. It's not new. They die down from time to time and get less severe, but they've always been here. Are they more intense? Probably, but they've always been here. This is nothing new. So there's some horrible stuff you can read about that happened historically. It's still happening. We're just sort of all more aware of it, and we've all got a voice that we're standing up and saying, no, we're not going to have that. So that's probably why we're more aware. So, think the internet, social media, we're more aware of what's happening in other countries. We have better news sources, although are they reliable? Some thoughts in there, but people fall in different opinions, but more people generally are speaking out for what they believe in. Not everyone agrees that they should, but I think it's a good thing that more people are aware. So, but I just wanted to point out in chapter 14, verse 3, well, first of all, in chapter 1, verse 1, is just beautiful. It says, "And I looked, and lo, a Lamb stood on the Mount Zion," meaning Zion, "and with him 144,000, remember that's all the covenant-keeping, relation, endowed people, priesthood power people, which is going to be so many people, with Christ." So that's, and they were having his Father's name written on their foreheads. Again, it's that mark of Christ, or that willingness to embrace that covenant relationship with him and focus on those things. And that's the people with Jesus. It's just a multitude of love. I mean, you can see all of that. Can you imagine being in that? How awesome that's going to be? That's what I'm aiming for. I'm going to keep that focus on Christ because I want to be in there. In verse 3 it says, "And they sung as it were a new song before the throne." And then it goes on to say, "And no man could learn that song but the 144,000 which were redeemed from the earth." So the only reason they can sing that, now remember that a new song is the best song. So think about chart toppers, and that the new one that comes out, like from the new one from Taylor Swift, it's going to be the best song of hers for a while. And then you'll go back to your favourites. But that's what they mean by this, is that the new song was the best song. And you can find that in Doctrine and Covenants 88, 99. We'll talk about that in a little bit onwards. But, also down in verse 6, "The angel fly in the midst of heaven, having the everlasting gospel to preach unto them that dwell on the earth." That's Moroni. So if you want to delve into that, go and do that too. But, the new song's the best song. So think of popular music charts. And how do we apply this to each new gospel thing we learn? When we first learn it, we're like, wow. I had a friend message me after watching the first set from last week, some of them from Revelation, and just be like, oh my gosh, I never noticed there was so much Christ in Revelation. Why were we always taught it was the end of times and apocalypse and awful, and we've been waiting for this to happen? She's like, it's happening now. It's been happening forever. I was like, yeah, it has. And it just gave her this whole new light and meaning. So for her right now, this is the new song. When we discover each new gospel thing or each new gem in the scripture, that's our new song. It's the best one because it's the one that's new to us. So each of our gospel things that we learn, this is why we keep searching and learning, and why I said I've been studying Revelation for 35 years. Does that mean I know all of it? Absolutely not. But I just come back to it and ponder it from time to time. I'll look at it every few months, just be like, waiting for deeper meaning. And little bit by little bit, places have dropped in, and I'm getting to see a better picture now. But it takes time. Do I study hard out every day? No, I don't mean it like that. I mean I look at it and I do my readings, and I might look at a verse that I've just been thinking on that's caught my eye, and sometimes I'll spend 6 months to a year in one verse. So there's so much more to go and so much more to learn, but I'm keeping at it, and each new thing is just oh yeah, it's the best thing. It's the new song. So yeah, that's how it applies to each new gospel thing we learn. I love that. Hope through deliverance. each new gospel thing. So have a look at, like, what's your new song at the moment, especially coming up to Christmas. What's your new song? Do you actually have a new Christmas song that you like? Why do you like it? What does it speak about the gospel that makes it the best thing right now? Cool, right? Alright, so verse 6. Who is this angel? Moroni. We already read that bit. But from the Come Follow Me manual, it says this. Our fulfillment of the prophecy in these verses occurred when Moroni appeared to Joseph Smith and led him to the records that he translated and published as the Book of Mormon. This book contains the everlasting gospel that we are charged with preaching unto every nation and kindred and tongue and people. And that's from, referencing Revelation 14:6. We can learn about other angels who've participated in restoring the gospel in Doctrine and Covenants 13, 27:5 to 13, 110:11 to 16, 128, 20 to 21. There's also a really good video called The Restoration of the Fullness of the Gospel of Jesus Christ. Now, I will do my best to link that, but I can't guarantee that I'll figure that out. But you can find that at churchofjesuschrist.org. So it's called A Restoration of the Fullness of the Gospel of Jesus Christ, a Bicentennial Proclamation to the World. So that came out in 2020. Yes, 2020. The year of COVID was the bicentennial. So it's the 200 years. It's really, really cool. But if you're in the Come Follow Me app or in the Gospel Library, there should be a link you could just click on for that under this week's lesson. So have a look for that. Again, I'll try and link it. Can't guarantee that I'll figure that one out. But see, there's some really good things in this. Coming into Christmas when everyone's busy, this needn't be avoided because it's heavy. It's actually good. It's such good news in that all of this ugliness, there's Christ, and He's with us, and He loves us. We can be marked by Him, known by Him. It's stuff we have been talking about for years. To focus on Him and be known as a disciple of Christ by just the light in our eyes and the way we are. Elder Nat just gave that beautiful talk about the light in your eyes. And it was really nice that he told me I had that same light, and boy did I cry. I think it was the nicest thing anybody could have ever said to me. Better than you're looking beautiful, or you're thin, or, not that I'm thin, but, anything like that. Or your cooking's great, or anything. No, he said, no, you have that beautiful light of Christ in your eyes. Like he said to this young man, and I just it's the nicest compliment, I think. For me, anyway. I thought it was just beautiful. So, anyway, that's my thoughts on this. But honestly, don't come into this or avoid it because you think it's going to be heavy and deep. It can be if you make it. It can also be incredibly uplifting, depending on what you focus on. There's more good in here. There's more Jesus in here than anything else. There's a really cool resource I've got a link to as well. I'll try and put that up just so you can identify. John Hilton posted it if you're following him on Instagram, but it's from someone else put it together. He's got it on his website though, and under his Seeking Jesus title, where you can find Jesus in Revelation, like mentioned by different names, and there's so many references. He is throughout this entire book full of goodness and hope and restoration, giving us hope and restoration in Him. So that's my testimony of this. This is actually a really uplifting, strong Jesus book. So focus on that. Don't be pulled under by the tide of ugliness that exists in a minority of it, or in life. There you go. Alright, I'm going to go walk on the beach. I might take some photos, but they'll be posted when you see this. It'll be last week. Time, right? Crazy thing. No wonder Isaiah had problems with it. Alright, love you guys. Stay safe out there. Bye.